So what are the Filene and Biden Awards all about? The entry criteria for both types of awards are outlined on page 8 of your brochure, and they're tough. They're very tough. There are great swathes of the UK and the whole of the island of Ireland where there is no state grant or bank grant funding, and many credit unions, by their nature and purpose, would not accept it anyway. You heard Her Excellency refer to that earlier this evening. So to be fair to all entrants, no entry application is permitted that was assisted by any type of grant or bank funding, as these awards are a test of initiative and trading ability only, not mastery of begging bowl bidding processes. Both the Filenes and Bidens are designed to encourage participants to develop existing skills, acquire new ones, leading to achieving performance excellence. Then, when put to good use, make the offer of products and services by credit unions more appealing to all, not just some of their consuming public, our owner members. And as I said earlier, force feeding of state grant and bank money won't and can't and doesn't achieve this. A credit union or individual meeting these very tough criteria and entering is the best. Those who receive any type of award are the best of the best. What the Filene and Biden Awards are not about. Thankfully, most people in Great Britain and Ireland are not in the have less category. Many are in the have more category. They must and should not be cut out of our credit union cooperative endeavours. Our market must be like the actions of well-known lagers. Credit union cooperatives should reach those parts of society that other top-down government or bank-funded programs cannot reach. Credit union cooperatives are probably the best finance and complete community builders in the world. Do your credit unions do that? Do they outreach all the time? You won't see any banks or bankers here tonight. They were not asked. Why invite your competitors to our celebrations? Why do certain significant parts of the British credit union movement in particular get into bed with banks who suffer from reputational halitosis and have dirty long finger and toenails that if they scratch could spread infection? We don't want the bank's patronage or custom, the selected crumbs from their counters. You heard from Her Excellency, we want their customers, all of them. We are the challenger banks. They're called credit unions. In the USA, credit unions have 7% of the savings and loans business, and the American Bankers Association squeal like pigs in pain. Good, the members of the British Bankers Association are our target. We must become good enough to take their trade. You won't see any representatives of any of the credit union trade bodies in the UK here tonight. They were all invited as private individuals, so that they wanted to squabble amongst themselves. We could all watch. They could be our cabaret. You won't see many well-known suppliers of credit union products and services here tonight other than our sponsors. As sponsorship of our celebratory event is open to bidding by tender. Bidders must be whole-of-market credit union providers. Others in the same market category must accept that successful bidders have a monopoly position, but not an endorsement from the Foundation, to be the sponsors of the Filene and Biden Awards at this celebratory awards dinner in return for their sponsorship. This process will open shortly for the awards ceremony in 2016. You won't see any politicians or their civil servants here tonight. Some were asked in a private capacity, out of politeness, as some of these remarks refer to them. I don't talk behind anybody's back, ever. If they were here, would they choke on their food, sit stony-faced, or leave in a hurry? The whole matter of using grassroots advocacy, and I will talk more about this a little later, to make our point, state our case, would give them apoplexy. Remember, their jobs as politicians depend upon us as voters and not the reverse. Don't ever blame the authorising or regulatory bodies. Their personnel are only doing their job determined by their political masters. You won't see any representatives of any faith groups here tonight. Her Excellency touched on this very eloquently. They weren't asked. One in particular has suddenly found and claims credit unions as an instrument to help cure poverty and deprivation. How perverse. The reasons for poverty are very complex and deep-rooted, will never be beaten by expressions or acts of moral indignation or triumphalism, but combated best by cooperation with others. Those advising this faith group have failed to inform it that most of the great pioneers of our movement from all over the world, were from other faiths and did not make their personal faith an issue. This faith and its spiritual leader, acknowledged by all the other faiths in the UK to be the senior cleric in the land, should put his spiritual credit union arms around all of us, he and his advisers have been told. His current action is divisive. The proposed one that I've just mentioned will be cooperative. You will hear both and see a lot about cooperation here tonight.